we drink beer. Today will not be a beer episode. We have some special guests in the studio, and they didn't know they were going to be in the studio. They were dropping by to give me an award for being a sponsor, a 10-year sponsor of EntreCon, EntreConPensacola.com, which is our community regional entrepreneurial event hosted by Mr. Quint Studer. So in this Nerds on Tap episode, we're thrilled to welcome, joining us are Katie Ballard, Executive Director at Studer Community Institute that hosts EntreCon, and Kara Dieck, Program Manager for SCI's Building Jobs program. So a little bit about Katie. She moved to Pensacola from Indianapolis. She combines her extensive background in philanthropy and nonprofit management with a commitment to enriching her community. She's been with SCI since 2016, leading development initiatives and more recently steering the organization's vision as executive director. Kara, a Pensacola native, coordinates SCI's leadership training, certifications, and EntreCon events. Known for her organization and supportive spirit, Kara is dedicated to making a positive impact in people's lives every single day, except for that time you almost killed me at EntreCon.
Let's not talk about that, okay? Please, thank you.
See, I remember. With EntreCon just around the corner, we're going to dive into the power of leadership training, the impact of mentorship, and how these elements help shape a thriving business community. So join us as we explore the value of continuous learning and the role of mentors in guiding and inspiring tomorrow's leaders. So grab your drink of choice. We're not drinking today, and let's uncover the strategies to build leadership skills that truly drive change. So, Katie and Kara,
I know it's a tongue twister.
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We're excited.
We're glad we popped in and you asked us to join.
Yeah, and you had no idea you were going to be in the
None.
studio
No.
today.
No,
So,
I love it.
Yeah.
share a bit about your journey to joining Studer Community Institute and what drew you to these fascinating roles.
You go first.
sure. Okay. So, as Tim, you mentioned, I moved here in 2016 from Indianapolis, and having a background in philanthropy and nonprofit work, when you arrive in Pensacola, it's kind of hard to miss that Studer name. So I worked for a couple different nonprofit organizations in our community, but ultimately was thinking to myself, okay, if there's somebody here to work with in town, it's going to be Quint and the Studer family of companies. So when an opportunity became available to do some development work with them, I jumped at it. So started with SCI doing some grant writing and some fundraising, and just kind of the role evolved from there. And I really believe in what we do and improving the quality of life in our community, especially through EntreCon for our business leaders. And then, we've got that Brains program too, working with the young kiddos in that 0 to 3 age range. But I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done to equip our business leaders and really enrich our community. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kara, how, being a hometown native,
Yes.
I mean, what drew you to this, and why Studer Community Institute? Why work with, Pensacola leaders and Pensacola startups,
Yeah.
across the board?
So I moved away, I think, right before Quint came to the area. So I really didn't know anything about Quint until I came back, and I was like, he does a lot for the community.
Yeah.
And coming back, I have kids now. So I'm like, I want to make the place, a better place to live, and then also to work, because, can't have money and raise kids without a job. So, but my role at SCI, like Katie's, has evolved. And what I started at was in the spring, helping the co-working space, and then it evolved from there. And so when the role opened up for what I do currently, I jumped on it in a heartbeat, because I want to help people stay in Pensacola. Yes, I left, but when I left, there was not nearly what is around currently. And Pensacola is such a great place to raise a family, to open a business, and how do we help those businesses thrive and grow? How do we come alongside of them? And so that's really what my job is, to come alongside of them and help them flourish and to make their dreams come true. And that's what I love.
That seems to be a common theme among young people that grew up here in Pensacola. They either go to school here or they go away to school but they never came back
Yeah.
because there weren't any opportunities.
Yeah.
I know when I moved here in 98, 99 and started my first business here in Pensacola, there was no Studer Community Institute. There wasn't a lot of young people, you know, because they were leaving. They
Yeah.
were leaving in droves.
Mm-hmm.
So things like EntreCon, things like the opportunities at UWF now,
Yeah.
and the opportunities through the community and the jobs that we're creating here, especially in tech,
Yeah.
they're keeping young people here.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
I think they're attracting people here as well that maybe otherwise wouldn't have come. So definitely keeping people, bringing people back, and attracting new people as well. Yeah, and you can just see it, I think, in my opinion, in the evolution of all the things that are available to us here in Pensacola, the growth of downtown, and just lots of different amenities, whether it's bars, restaurants, things to do, festivals, all
Lots
that kind
of
of stuff.
stuff.
Tons of growth. Yeah.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, you had like one bar
Yep.
Yeah.
down to Seville was a
Mhm.
staple,
Yeah.
always here. And you really didn't have a lot of restaurants
No. Yep.
downtown. It was mostly franchises, and
Yep.
they were on the north side of town.
Mhm.
So I was reading the other day in my feeds, I mean, all the development and the upcoming development that's going to be happening here to connect the communities, or potentially.
Yeah.
I saw, I think it was the eight type items with Civicon and what they're focused on. And I don't know if you guys want to talk about that at all, or if you're dialed into that part.
So we work kind of alongside Civicon and Eduardo over there who runs that piece. You know, I just was at their event last week with Tom Dahlberg. He was here talking about bullying, but you know, I know that he's working closely with the developments that are happening, the CRA developments with the city, and kind of connecting communities across the general broader downtown area. But he'd be a great person to have on your show too. Chat a little bit with Eduardo.
He'd be great.
Maybe you can make a call for
Yeah.
Oh,
I could
1,000%.
be happy to.
So for both of you, what's a typical day in your role at Studer Community Institute? I mean, you're here right now.
Yeah, sure.
You didn't plan on still being
Yeah.
here, but I kept you here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first this
Okay,
time.
I'll go first this time. So there's no real typical day, unfortunately, but fortunately as well, because that's what makes it fun. Is there's something new and exciting every day at SCI, whether it's a business that came by and they're like, hey, how can you help me, to setting up meetings for the companies that we do have in our programs, or right now we're getting ready for EntreCon next week. So it's like, you know, our office looks like a bomb went off because all of our boxes are everywhere, but it's something different and it's fun every single day. Like I said, there's not a general, like, this is how the day is going to go. We have a lot of fun in the office. We're all really good friends.
Yeah.
And so it makes it even more fun and exciting to go to work. But really helping small businesses is my main focus, is to help them.
You know, earlier this year, I actually worked with you to try to get your office space to film Army video.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it worked out great. The opening scene of our zombie video
Yeah.
is your office.
And that just speaks to the fact that there's no typical day in our office. And given our location,
Except
there really is no typical day. Anybody can just kind of walk in there, and they do.
we wanted a chicken in our video.
Yes.
And you were like, oh, we can't have a chicken.
Yeah.
We
No
can't
chicken,
have a
no
chicken.
fire. That was the rules.
So with EntreCon right around the corner, share a bit about what it's like to prepare for such a major event. I'm sure it's an all-year thing,
Yeah.
but I'll let you lead in on that, and the impact you hope it has on attendees.
Yeah. So it is a year-long planning thing.
Mm-hmm.
So last year at the end of EntreCon, we already had our dates for this year, and it really jumps right into it. We gather our speakers right away, because without speakers, you don't have a conference. And this year we have 31 speakers.
I'm introducing Tiffany Pham.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's
I'm
going to
excited
be great.
about that.
Yeah, and
And
so
she's back for a second year.
yes,
right? Yeah.
she was in 2019, but she's amazing, like dynamic person. But it's really head down focused. There's a little more leadway, obviously, at the beginning of the year, because, you know, we have a whole year for it. But as the closer we get, it's really head down focused. All the logistics, the meeting places, marketing for it. It's
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Like Kara said, kind of reaching out to speakers and then reaching out to individuals like yourself to
Yeah.
sponsor, because without our sponsors, it's
None
not
of this
gonna
would happen.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have a lot of really great community partners too. So working with the Little Theater and with Voices of Pensacola.
Oh yeah.
Internally to the family of companies 511 for the breakout sessions, and then we have a ton of volunteers. That certainly can't happen without them and without their help, and again, other partners in the community that are going to provide some food for those volunteers. So there's just a lot of moving pieces. It is a whole year-long process, but I think having the opportunity to bring so many people together in one place to hear from these great speakers is all worth absolutely every little
1,000%.
bit of it. And that's, I think you asked kind of what are we hoping that people get out of it, and it's an opportunity to engage with others in the community and really make some of those connections. We have a lot of local speakers, and like you said, Tiffany, she's not local, but she's going to be
I've spoken a couple
wonderful.
times at EntreCon.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. So
Where I hit you.
I don't think I,
like I said,
Yeah,
I think I missed that attempt on Tim's
I don't
life.
think I did very well because you never had me back. So no.
No,
I'm
you
kidding.
did great.
Yeah.
But I like the way you guys drive the breakouts into different venues in downtown. So it's driving traffic into local businesses. It's promoting local businesses, which is the whole point of all this,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bringing everybody into downtown. I think we've got several out-of-towners staying in hotels and helping push kind of that tourism aspect of it too, because that's the whole point of EntreCon, is for it to be this high-caliber conference that you can come to either locally or from not too far away, and not have to go to someplace like New York or Chicago and pay for airfare and pay for hotel and pay for food and all that kind of stuff. You can get it right here in town, and then the extra benefit of that is that you can make connections that can flourish from there and really help your business.
Well, I think outside of the networking is one of the biggest opportunities I think a lot of people see in there, because I have met a considerable amount of people that I do business with now through roundtables at SCI and through EntreCon.
Yeah.
And, it's funny how things work. I sat on a round table. I was heading up a round table years ago. Somebody heading up another round table had a startup that, we got introduced because they needed IT as part of it. And that was years and years ago. And now, and of course, we've got several of them at EntreCon because I gave them all tickets this year. They're now one of our largest customers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, it goes full circle.
Yeah.
So, Katie, share how leadership training, I want to talk more about leadership and training, because that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
At Studer Community Institute, how is it designed to impact both individual growth and the community at large? We talked about the community. Let's talk about individual growth, mentors and mentees. I mean, I've been paired up with people there that have helped me with different aspects of my business over time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that, Kara was talking a little bit more about the venture mentoring service program that's based off of MIT that we offer. And that's specifically for small businesses and entrepreneurs to get paired with a group of mentors. But I think even on a one-on-one aspect, EntreCon's a great place to meet somebody that could probably be a mentor. And I feel like no matter what level of leadership you're at, you could be brand new, you could be really seasoned. We all have something to learn. And there's always something that you can take away from somebody else. So I think it's really powerful having the opportunity to find a mentor, or, if you're in the VMS program, to be matched up with a group of mentors that can really help you with certain areas that maybe you recognize you need some training in. But then I think the great thing in my mind about mentorship is somebody might bring something to light that you've never even thought of, and it can be what takes you to the next level.
So that's good. So what are some of the most common challenges that local leaders face, and how does SCI address those?
Sure. I mean, I think one of the things, especially with our venture mentoring service and the small businesses, financials are always something,
1,000%.
yes, that are thought of. But
hey, if I'm making more money than I'm spending, it must be all right.
Yeah.
Right?
track your financials. Just know what you're working with.
Yes.
Step one. But I think, on a more individual level, regardless of what kind of job you're in, if you're in some kind of leadership role, one of the things that comes up all the time is having difficult conversations is one of the things that I think individually everybody wants some more assistance with, or
Time management.
Yep, that's a good one too. Kind of some of it's almost like, there's that idea of back to basics, but some people, especially after COVID, the conversation we've had several times is a lot of people got thrust into leadership roles and there were no basics. So you can't go back to basics you never had. So establishing a foundation of good practices is also something that we've seen in the past couple of years to say, let's take a step back and give you those skills that you need to really be successful.
So it's funny, when I think back to the first business I started, it was based on a hobby I had of building gaming rigs, right? And I got into business just to take my hobby and turn it into and monetize it, right? But I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. There was no SCI. There was no, I didn't have any mentors. My family, they were like, oh, he's going to fail. He doesn't have, but because I really didn't have any education, I really wasn't qualified to run a business. So this is back in the 90s. But when I started that business, I landed a large government contract, and all of a sudden I had hundreds of thousands of dollars just rolling into this account, and I thought I was doing something illegal. So I really, I was so hesitant to touch the money because I'm like, oh, somebody's going to want this money. But that's how I got started. I just hustled. I was a hustler and knocking on doors, and when I landed that first deal. But had I known more about financials in the beginning, especially in that first stage, I think I wouldn't have made as many mistakes as I did. But I learned from those mistakes, and I learned, oh, I need to learn. That's what I learned. I need to learn. So, Kara, what do you see as the most valuable qualities of a good mentor? And how can new leaders find someone who can truly help guide them? This is a good one.
Yes, this is a good one. So I'll answer the second part first. So we offer the venture mentoring service at SCI. And like Katie said, we adopted it from MIT. So we pair you with 3 to 5 mentors, and they are in all walks of life. Finances, attorneys, general like operations, CPAs, all the vast majority of them they're everywhere. And I think that would really help is like to apply for that program, to get with those mentors. There are going to be people who you normally wouldn't be able to like have a mentorship through, and they're phenomenal. We have over 50 mentors, and they're all amazing. But I think the best quality for a mentor, honestly, is the willingness to give of your time freely.
That's
hard.
A
huge one.
And it's hard because we're all so busy.
Yes.
I mean, I'm squeezing this in between meetings today, and I'm sure you guys are too. Yeah. And I actually headed up I had to step down from my role as a mentor in there because I did not have the time.
Yeah. And that's big of you to realize
that. I wouldn't
that.
have, though.
You can always come back.
Yes.
I'll be back.
So don't worry. But like that's a big one for our mentors, and they are all great about giving of their time, and we honor them and we appreciate them so much, and understand that like Tim, gets busy and you guys take a step back, but they're always welcome back.
So we've got about 5 or 6 more minutes left on the show, so I'm gonna ask a couple more questions before we go into our rapid fire questions, which are always the fun ones. Katie, tell us about a mentor who made a significant impact on your career and how that experience shaped your approach to leadership.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love this question.
I think it's somebody currently who's one of our board members, and I think a lot of people in our community could say the same as Bert Thornton.
Oh yeah,
to say Bert. Just that man can see the good in everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sees what's inside you and has the ability to pull it out. So I think stepping into this executive director role was one that if I didn't have the opportunity to chat with him and talk with him about it. Maybe I would have been someplace else, but I think, it was helpful to have his support and to continue to have his support. And our board chair, Kathy Sandstrom, is another one of those people.
Yeah.
She's just dynamic and she's patient and she is giving of her time.
Yes,
so very much so. And just, she's the kind of person that, I could pick up the phone and call her and she's busy. She'll say, I'll call you back in just a little bit. She always has time. So
that's awesome.
And willing to listen to just about anything I have to say.
I had the opportunity to introduce Bert at a lunch and learn last year, and he is such a great dude.
Yeah.
And he makes some really good
He
chili,
does.
right?
He does. I have his bobblehead,
Yep.
Bert's chili, and he's so great. So great.
He was just so great to talk to. I got to hang out with his wife and
Miss
so
Kathy.
sweet, and he was just so thankful to me afterwards just for introducing him. He's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that was a grand introduction." I was like, "Well, you're a grand
Yeah.
what old gorilla, right?"
Yeah.
So, EntreCon's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
How does EntreCon provide opportunities for attendees to connect with mentors or to become mentors themselves? I mean, what is the process?
To becoming a mentor?
Yeah, I mean, with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, because you host these, right? If anybody in the community is out there listening,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to them if they are a great leader or think they're a great leader and have something to offer startups, other people in different phases of their business? How can they get involved with you guys?
Yeah. So my biggest one would be the venture mentoring service because the goal for SCI is to help anybody and everybody that we can. And so we can only help as many as mentors as we get. So we can only help as many businesses as mentors as what we have. So that would be a big one. And you can email the team at info@studeri.org and just say that you're interested in being a mentor. How that works is you have I say loosely an interview. It's more of like a chat of like, why do you want to become a mentor? What's your background like? And go from there. And there's like an application, but it's just more to get to know you better. And then we take it from there. And if it's something that we feel like would be a great fit for not only us, but for you, then you start coming to our bi-monthly mentor meetings and you get to be paired with different companies. And it goes off of what you're available. So if you can only help one company right now, that is totally fine. That's one that didn't have it before. So there's some that can handle 4, but that's just because of the season that they're in. So yeah.
So Kara, what do you hope attendees at EntreCon take away about the importance of mentorship and personal development in their career journey? So just to kind of follow up to what you're saying about that, what can they take away? What do you think are they gonna leave fired up?
Yes. So we hope at least, but yeah, we really have set it up to where we listened to the feedback last year and because we're big on surveys here at SCI. So we listened to everyone's feedback, and our goal is that you walk away with tangible takeaways, something that you can take back to the office and be like, okay, we're going to implement this. Maybe it's now, maybe it's in 3 months, but we want things that they can take back and go, okay, this is how I can grow in my leadership, or I want to connect with Tim Shoup because I think he would be a great mentor. I'm trying to go into IT or whatever it is, and that they can walk away with a handful of mentors.
I went to the business school of hard knocks. I learned everything I did by failing at everything I did.
Always a lesson, right?
Always.
Well, and I think just to kind of piggyback on what Kara was saying is, I mean, you individually, and I know it sounds cliche, like you're the owner of your destiny.
Yeah.
You need to go out. You need to be proactive. If you feel like, a mentor would be helpful, and everybody a mentor is helpful, go out and seek that out and talk to people because you're the one who's going to make it happen.
Don't look for happiness. Create it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what EntreCon is for, is to go and find those mentors, because there's going to be so many people you never would have crossed paths with had it not been for EntreCon.
Well, I so appreciate you guys dropping into the studio today.
Thanks for having us.
And we're going to wrap up like we generally do with all of our sessions with rapid fire questions. Don't look at my questions.
I know. I'd like to see what they say.
She's over here prepping herself.
She's cheating.
So the rapid fire. So answer with either one word or one sentence.
Okay.
With each. And I've got about, 7 or 8, 9 questions here. So I'm going to give each of you a chance to give your answer.
Okay.
Ready?
Sure.
Set. What's the best book you've read recently?
To Kill a Spider.
Oh, what's the one about difficult conversations? What is it? What is the name of it?
Oh,
Fierce Conversations.
yes.
All right. Describe Pensacola in one word.
Beautiful.
Growing.
What's your go-to coffee order?
I don't drink coffee.
Just
Ugh.
a little bit of half and half.
My daughter
Sorry.
would do the same thing because every time we go to the mall, she has to go to Starbucks. What's a hidden gem in Pensacola that more people need to know about?
Ooh, Four Seasons. It's a restaurant. So good. They hire past felons and they give them a chance.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really good.
They do have an excellent lunch there.
They do.
I don't know that it's a secret, but the gelato place, Lamonte.
Got it.
Lamont, however you pronounce it. It's excellent.
Favorite inspirational quote?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus?
No. Yeah, that's what I'm calling out right now.
That's very inspirational.
Oh, I can't even think of
come
one.
on.
I can't even think. And we do quotes every
Oh,
Monday.
Right?
I can't think of one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Off the top
Pass.
of my head, sorry.
Don't look for happiness.
Oh,
create
yeah.
it.
There you
What
go.
he just
What you
said.
said.
Yep.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. What's something people would be surprised to learn about each of you in one word or one sentence?
How many tattoos I have?
That you almost killed me at EntreCon.
Stop. I did not.
Wow. I wish
But yes.
I'm going to have to learn more about this story. I don't know. I'm a avid runner and I used to row.
Yep. That's a good one.
Awesome. Awesome. What's one item you can't live without at work?
A good pen.
Oh, come on.
That's for real though. I'm a very pen to paper person.
Technology.
I know. I'm sorry. I hate to say.
I was
going
going to say my fan.
It should be technology.
We can't live without digital boardwalk.
Oh, there you go.
my coworkers. There you go.
Hey, when you have a problem
We call
with
you.
tech, who do you call?
Digital boardwalk.
You're the
For
first
sure.
people.
So go ahead. You
I
want
was
you,
gonna say, yeah. Excuse me, our internet's not working. Y'all are on top of it. On top
I
of it.
love to hear that, and I love to hear feedback like that. And
We
we're
love
like
y'all.
you. We learned a lot from SCI and from Quint. Roundings. We round on our people constantly. We round on our customers constantly, and we're constantly trying to keep our finger, on the heartbeat of Digital Boardwalk to keep things churning and rolling, like every business should.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for joining me and getting nerdy for a short session of Nerds on Tap. We appreciate you guys dropping
for
in,
having us.
Yeah, thanks for
And-
letting us come by.
giving me my beautiful 10-year sponsorship award for
Yes.
being part of EntreCon. I know
Wow.
that when I was approached to be involved with EntreCon and I heard there was going to be an entrepreneurial event right here in our own city, I was thrilled to get involved. I was like, where do I sign up? That just fit my mojo.
Yeah. We love it.
So go to EntreCon. We're going to be spinning out some reels to show you what it's all about. And where can they learn more about SCI?
At tutorI.org and specifically EntreCon. You said it earlier, EntreConPensacola.com.
Exactly. Thanks again, folks. Kara, do you have any last words?
I'm sorry for almost killing you last year. No, I'm just kidding.
Finally got an apology, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for getting nerdy with us. Stay nerdy. Join us for our next session coming soon, and we look forward to having you on the show one day. So come and see us and go to EntreCon. Thanks, everyone. Cheers, my fellow nerds and beer lovers. Stay tuned for more Nerds on Tap. Oh, and one more thing. Help us spread the nerdy love and the love for great brews by sharing this podcast with your friends, colleagues, and fellow beer enthusiasts. Let's build a community that embraces curiosity, innovation, and the enjoyment of a cold one.